Hey there, we're talking how to create company values that actually benefit your business. Now, the reason I wanted to do this today is because I am actually out of town. I am gone. And while I'm gone, my team will run the business as if I was here doing all the things. So I'm going to share with you what that looks like. Now, if you're brand new to me, welcome. My name is Stacey Tuschel, and I have a signature framework we call well oiled operations, where we teach people how to get more customers in the door, more profit in their pocket, more happiness in their home through scaling in a simplified manner. So, welcome to my channel. I am super excited to dive into really creating company values that actually benefit your business. Now, I am away. I am in Boise, Idaho. Yes, I know. I can't really say too much about Boise because I'm from Wisconsin. So, what, right? What's the difference? I'm in Boise, Idaho right now for a mastermind retreat where I'm learning from Russell Brunson. He's the founder of ClickFunnels. And I'm there with there's 100 of us in this program. And while I'm there, it hasn't happened yet. I'm pre recording this. But while I'm there, I will guarantee you my team will run the business as if I was home in a way that I would want it run in alignment with our company values. Now, company values are everything, but I will tell you that if you are thinking you've used them, you've tried them, if you don't have established company values or you don't know how to use them for anything significant, this is going to be for you. Because here's the deal, a lot of people think they understand this, but they grab random words they've heard or buzzwords they've heard from somebody else's company values, right? You see mine and you think, oh, if it's working for Stacy, let's try it for us, right? And then it just doesn't make sense. Or if I say to you, well, what are your company values? And you say, oh, we have them, but hang on. And you pull out your paper and you're like looking them up. No. Like you have to live and breathe your company values. Now I have mine written on the wall over here, but I will tell you it is integrity, high standards, resourcefulness, results driven, team player. Those are my five in the order that we have them because the order is even important. We want people to know if two values are up against each other and you got to lean towards one, which one are you leaning towards? What does that look like? So here's the deal. If you feel like the business can't run without you, it's because you either don't have company values or they actually you have them, but they really don't do anything. They're just like there, they're pretty graphics on the wall. They're not actually serving its purpose. And we've got to make sure we get you there. Okay. You want to have a solid foundation for how to confidently make decisions in your business with or without you, right? And it allows team members to take more responsibility. Now, who do you think people like to work for? Somebody who micromanages or somebody who allows them to make decisions without them? It's not a big like hello, right? No one wants to be like looking over, feeling like someone's looking over your shoulder. Everybody wants that opportunity to have responsibility, to have you feel like you trust them, right? So definitely be thinking about how can we start to shift right into actually creating values that mean something. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what you want to be known for when somebody talks about you, right? That's what branding is, what they say about you when you're not in the room, how they perceive you, right? What does that look like? What would you like? Consider what's important to you as a customer. What do you appreciate? What frustrates you, right? What annoys you when you walk into a business and they have bad customer service or they're not thinking about, right, XYZ, or they say the word, well, our policy is to, and you're like, screw the policy, right? What, how are you inside of those businesses and what's important and what's not? Okay. I also want you to think about how do you use those values when you hire, train, create systems, when you fire, when you reward people, when you recognize people, all the things. So when you're looking at these, okay, I want you, I love thinking about the opposite of what you want. Sometimes it's you're like, I don't know what I want. But what we do know is what we don't want, right? Like think about back in the day when you were dating. It might have been hard to picture like the perfect person for you, but you knew what you didn't want. You're like, listen, they better not have this. They better not do that. I don't want to, right? So I want you to do the same thing with company values. I want you to say what annoys you, what frustrates you, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what makes you upset in the business. Write it all down and think about the opposite of what that is. So if somebody on the team, this is how we came up with team player. We didn't have team player as a fifth value. We had four values. And I was getting really frustrated with this one person on our team. And I looked at the four values and she was in alignment. And when I realized very quickly what was missing, it was a team player. And it's so funny because team player is brought up over and over and over again in my business. When we acknowledge people, we say what the value is that they're doing. So we'll say, like, shout out to Kara this week. Like, she is a team player. Here's what she did that makes her a team player, right? Team player gets picked out over and over and over again. We are a very team oriented person. We help one another. We get in, we get our hands dirty. We don't say things like, well, that wasn't my job. That's not my department. That wasn't my client. Like, no, no, no. My people, they take ownership of what they're doing, right? And I take ownership with them. We love, love, love that about the people we work with. So I really want you looking at what's frustrating. What would be the opposite thing? And those become your values. Okay. Those become your values. All right, let's keep cruising. So, company values should be the foundation of your decision making and be clearly represented within your team and your customer facing work. Now, I just had somebody say to me, one of my company values is, I can't even remember what it was. It was like fun and fun and something else. And I had to say to this person, let's go look at some of your Instagram posts. Would you say friendly, light, fun, nice, right? Could you say that? And she quickly realized the perception of the way that she was showing up, right? The way that, and sometimes we get on camera and we just have this, we're awkward, we're uncomfortable, we're nervous. So we're not completely ourselves. And this person was not showing up the way that she wanted to be showing up. So I said, listen, if you were friendly and nice and fun, how would you show up? What would be something you would say? What would you not say? She's like, well, I would never do that thing. Like, that does not sound great. That does not sound friendly, right? I want to come from a different angle. And we start to realize what this looks like, right? So you use company values for you individually. And then as your team grows, if you want the company, and I know you do, to stay very similar, right? To keep those values, you want to make sure you're hiring people with those similar values, okay? But people need to know what they are. Now, you might say, well, people perceive us as down to earth or high end or right luxurious or all the things, right? Does your team know that that is how you want to be perceived, right? So if one of your words is high end luxurious, have you shown them what is high end and luxurious? Have you shown them what is not high end and luxurious so that they understand what they should be doing versus should not? Would your customers, this is the best test of it all, okay? Let's say you create company values and you proudly display them, okay? But your customers are looking at you thinking, absolutely not. Like, I would never have said that about this company. You may want to live and breathe your company values before you publicly post it if you know that's not who you're being. So let's say one of the things back in the day that I was kind of a cheapskate back in the day because I was just trying to save for my business and getting it off the ground. And I was a cheapskate. Okay. And I wanted to be generous. I wanted people to say that Stacy was one of the most generous people they knew. And I knew no one would have said that because I literally wouldn't even buy stuff for myself, let alone buy something for somebody else. Okay. So I realized I am going to start to play the part of somebody who's generous. My point is, if I wasn't generous at the time, I wouldn't have slapped on, my company values public in the website and said generous and have everybody go, absolutely not. Right. But what I did was I kind of had these 3 secret things that I wanted to step into and become. And I started to live and breathe them. Right. And when I realized I had been doing it long enough for people to describe me as generous or those other words, right? That's when I started to put it out there, what my mission was and what I was trying to do. So when people heard me say that, they could say, absolutely, she's one of the most generous people I've met. Right. So you've got to start to say, how do we make this mean something in the business? If you said to your team right now, we are this, we are that, we are this, we are team players, and the team's like, no one's ever helping me. They're always blaming me. They're always throwing things on my plate. They're not team players, right? You may want to present this and say, listen, I don't necessarily think we've been being these 3 company values or 5 company values, but I want us to start to lean into this, right? How can maybe honesty is one. Maybe you're having some issues with honesty, okay? You might say, How are we going to implement honesty this month? How are we going to have and I don't mean like lying, I just mean withholding information, not telling each other to their face what people need to say out of love, out of respect, right? Out of kindness, but just not telling somebody an honest situation of like, hey, that was unacceptable. We can't do that again. You might have just held that back, right? So go to your team, start to brainstorm, decide what you're going to be doing. If you want examples of company values, and you could use this spreadsheet with your team and show them and say, what's important to you? What are some things popping out? Just put the word values below, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, DM me on Instagram, the word values, and I'm going to send you over. I probably have like, I don't know, a few dozen different company values for you to look at a word and say, does this resonate? Is this something that's important to me? And I recommend doing this with the team. Brain dump all of the ones that were important to people and then vote on it. Or you do this privately as the CEO and start pulling one away until you get down to about 3 to 5 to maybe 7. The deal here is you want to be able to remember them all, right? I struggled a little bit at number 4, results driven, right? But I did remember all 5. If I started to struggle where I couldn't remember, you've picked too many. All right. So what I want you to do is you're going to comment below the word values. You can, oops, sorry if I just smacked my microphone and you heard that. I have our values right now up on the screen. If you are not watching, you are listening and you want to get you want to see my company values, like I said, DM me values. I'm going to send you over the potential, like the list of all the ones you could be using. But hey, just say to me in the DMs, could I also see like your values, Stacey? And I will send that as well. So just put the word values below or DM me on Instagram and I will get those to you. These are important to us. Okay. Like integrity, we explain these a little bit too. Integrity, we are our word. If somebody says, I will be there at 3, they are there at 3, not at 3:02. They're not going to miss it. They're not showing up, right? Next one, we have high standards. Excellence is a state of mind. Mediocre is not something we do here at Foot Traffic. It's not, okay? Resourcefulness. Do not come to me if you can Google that answer. Like, just don't, right? And don't try to skip a system and come to somebody on the team to get out of the system. Be resourceful, get it done. Okay. We take ownership, right? We are accountable. We are results driven. Not only are we results driven, like we want results, but we are results driven through the success of our clients. We are not successful if our clients are not successful, right? So we are majorly, we take massive ownership in our clients showing up. Are they engaged? Are they taking action? How can we get them to take more action? Now, I will say, I can only take I can only show up 100% and give you what you need. But if you don't show up 100%, I am not attached to you not getting results. Does that make sense? I had to learn that the hard way because I was 100% showing up, but sometimes people weren't. And I would be like, why am I struggling? Like, why can't I get this person to do it? I'm like, listen, I can only do so much to get them to show up, to get them engaged, to get them motivated, to get them confident. But the client has to step up too, right? And then last but not least, team player. We support one another. This is, again, it's number 5 because we added it. I honestly think it's one of the top company values that we just demand and expect in our business. It is so incredibly important. So when we reward somebody, when we give somebody raises, when we hire, when we fire, all the things, it's because of something from our company values. When we hire you, it's because we're seeing values that you display that are like ours. When we fire you, it's because you do not have one of our values as a core and it's coming through in your work. When people are in alignment, right, have the same values, like look at your friends. You like certain friends because they're like you. They believe what you believe. You know who's really annoying you? Somebody who believes like the opposite that has to do with anything with like COVID or a president or right. It's like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. She believes this. I believe that. And all of a sudden there's a conflict. You don't even want to hang out. I left my hairstylist because she was so political and she was so all the things going on in the world. And I did not believe the things she believed. And I was like, I'm out of here. We were not in alignment with our values. And I couldn't take sitting in my chair, her chair for 2 hours listening to this, right? Go with people that have similar values and you will go so much further in your business. And when you're gone, when you are gone, you will see them run it just like you would because they're in alignment with your values. Okay. Comment below the word values. I will get those over to you. If you're listening, DM me on Instagram values. I will send those over to you. Tag me on social media, screenshot this video or this podcast, tag me on social, share with me publicly what are your company values? What is one value that means so much to you that your business stands for? I can't wait to see it. See you soon.